right, Brian, what's up, man? How you doing today?
I am doing so good. So thankful to get to talk to you, man.
Dude, absolutely. So we met each other through a BAMF of a guy, Cody Kilpatrick. Shout out to him. I actually found you by rummaging through his TikTok stories, and then one of your songs came up, and I was just like, that sounds like something Cody would produce. Like that sound like that had his like kind of vibe all over it. I'm just like, did he like find somebody? Like cause I remember looking at a couple of his stuff where he's like going to like California doing a Christian concert, and I was just like, oh, who's this guy? It's like because you love like this is like finding you is potentially like finding a YouTuber like that hits 10 mil right when they're at like 100K. It's like they've got enough people to where like they realize they got something going, but you found them right before they fuck everything up and destroy everything they've built. Not saying that's happening, but that's the feeling. So I was real hyped about that.
Yeah, that's high pressure for me to not say something that's gonna be canceled before I get to. Well, dude. I mean, I'm starting at like 200 followers, and I'm aiming to get to like 500 by the end of the year. But
aren't we all? So go ahead and just tell everybody about yourself. Just who are you? What you about? Just let them know who Brian Hjort is.
Yeah. So let's see here. I feel like first and foremost, I should say I am a fiance. My girl is also an awesome musician. We're both tied into serving like the music industry in our specific regions, but that largely supports my music. I almost said music career, but I almost want to say I'm just going to call it an endeavor because I'm something of an indie musician, indie rock band collaborator with, an EP, one album, and all in service of just wanting to play shows because that's, if there was like one thing that gives me life, it is getting to perform music in front of people.
Yeah, dude. That's the goal for everybody, honestly, just like to do something. So what really drove you to music? Because like you always like listen to these people, like I'm sure like Taylor Swift, like I really remember her when she was like back in the country music. Like we watched MTV and Taylor Swift's Tim McGraw would come on and my mom would be like, guys, sing along with her. And I can only imagine like she was either like a musical genius or her parents like beat the shit out of her, just like play the chords right, god damn it. Like, so which one of that was like for you? Because like I'm not saying that you were beaten as a child, but like what really got you into music?
I think it was almost more of a need to differentiate myself from my surroundings. I don't know, a fairly cookie cutter, clean upbringing where we're really into my family was just into sports and just like middle income suburbs, really from Seattle, the suburb of Seattle, really white area. And I mean, I feel like I could pinpoint listening to Linkin Park's Meteora for the first time and hearing Chester Bennington like throw down some scream vocals. And I was like, holy smokes, that's what's going on inside my little prepubescent mind chest. And I'm like, all right, I want to do whatever allows me to get whatever that is inside me out. And a cliche, like everyone says, it's
the oldest cliche, but it's that because so many people not just idolized, but connected with what he was doing. Like the amount of people that idolize, truly connected themselves to Linkin Park is probably a country. Like if they all just disappeared, like society would crumble.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously there was emotionally cathartic music before Linkin Park and plenty of it after. But there was something about them that, I mean, they were like accessible to the hip hop kids through the employing like a DJ sound and some synth sounds, and they were accessible to the hard rock kids. And for me, I guess like they were the secular version of, I was listening to like POD and like Pillar and like all these like Christian rap rock bands that still are ripping bands. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, it was, they have to be up there as one of the most influential bands, which is so weird because if anyone goes, from this podcast to listen to my music, they're gonna be like, I don't think that kid listens to Linkin Park because he's not playing heavy stuff. But yeah.
Oh no. Imagine you're just like, I am the greatest Linkin Park fan ever. And then someone's like, oh my God, another Parky, which maybe that's what they call themselves. I don't know, but I'm going to act like that is. And they're just like, they run over to your account. It's like, finally, someone with my taste. And you're sitting there playing Stairway to Heaven. It's just like,
probably more playing something that's would sound like a Taylor Swift cover from ever.
No.
No,
not a Taylor Swift cover. I mean, hell, if you want to go for success, run Taylor Swift by dude. Cover bands, for whatever reason, they like sadly, I don't know, because not sadly though, because truly that's how they like get the experience, get the hype, and then get their own stuff out, which is never as good as their covers because they're covering really good stuff. Cover bands make a fuck ton of money for whatever reason. The good ones.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I managed merchandise for a Pink Floyd cover band. I think Great Floyd. Oh my
God.
And I could not believe the amount of vinyl that they were selling. People were buying vinyl of a cover band instead of buying the actual original. Like, why are you not just buying Pink Floyd stuff? But I will say at the same time, I played a show yesterday where I think I played 3 covers, and man, it's so good for informing my own songwriting to especially draw from a bunch of different perspectives. I covered a Casey Musgrave song. One of my favorite things to play is Dancing on My Own by Robin. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna change the pronouns. And sometimes I'll play some shows where that pisses people off, and other times
no.
A couple of pop in Washington. I'm like weirdly, even that is just a little bit punk rock to, and yeah, it's I don't know. I'm having some fun exploring some covers for the first time.
Yeah, it's weird how anal retentive some people are about their about people covering, because like I remember the Pokemon concert that the digital concert that Post Malone did for Pokemon. Like I can't remember what the band's name is, and shame on me for not being able to, but he changed around one word but like to his favorite baseball or football or basketball team or whatever, and people were like losing their shit. It wasn't his song, so he was technically, again, making a lot of money doing a cover, but he's Post Malone. So anyway, like he changed one word, and like some people were like, I figured it out because I'm a huge Posty fan. Again, I don't know if that's what they're called, but we're rolling with it. And they're just like, I figured it out. That's his favorite baseball team. Holy shit, the connotation connections, and I'm just losing my shit. And someone else is like, that's not the fucking song, dude. Sing the song right next time. Apologize to me and my fandom. And it's just like, some people are just so weird about like, you have to sing the song exactly. And like, if you change the pronoun, it's like, well, you're a girl and you can't say she because it's he or him or whatever. So fuck you. And it makes no sense whatsoever.
I have such a tough time with, an expectation to just do a carbon copy of someone else's work. I mean, it feels so important to have if you're gonna play a cover, have your fingerprints on it a little bit, or why would you not just listen to the original? I'm such a sucker for, it's the most cliche or lowest common denominator, such a popular cover is really what I'm trying to say is that Johnny Cash 9 Inch Nails cover. And man, like, yeah, it was a seminal part of the lifespan of that song to be covered and reimagined by someone. I mean, I would never express that I think I'm going to like play some role in adjusting or changing the trajectory of a song that I cover. But still, it gives it a little bit of new life to explore from a more multifaceted perspective.
Yeah, because I remember like one of my favorite mashups, and I had to just double check the name real quick because I will actually have active death threats sent against me if I mispronounce this band's name. But Paramore's "Misery's Business," I believe it is. Like, so I remember them coming back up with one of Charlie D'Amelio's songs because it sounded so like it literally like spliced together seamlessly. Like it was literally like you just walked through a time portal. It was so immaculate. Like, and also it's just like some people was like, she ripped off Paramore, and I'm sad and butthurt because I'm 30, and that was what identified. That was my Linkin Park. And I'm just like, okay, cool. Now a whole bunch, like I've ran into a 16-year-old kid listening to Eminem's "I'm Coming" song. I'm like, there's no branch in the multiverse where that child should be listening unless he saw the sound on a TikTok. So that is a good deed done right there. So I'm just like, one of my favorite mashups is that with the Pokemon theme song. But the core, like the key has to be drastically changed to the amount to where you don't know what song it is until the chorus hits. Like even like the starkest fan is just like, where do I know this from? It's right there. Hits that chorus, is like, oh, that's what it. So yeah, no, you have to get your hands on it. It can't be this perfect carbon copy, or it's not a cover, it's a ripoff.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And it makes me think of how, I guess a lot of people would say, yeah, I think music definitionally is just organized noise. You figure out some patterns, figure out some frequencies, and why organize, and the thing that breathes life into it is, I don't know, well putting your fingerprints on it, injecting the human experience into it, the soul of the song. And it's so weird to think that if you are just making that direct copy, like you can still make an emotionally honest experience. But my issue is when people are more fixated on the process of making sure it's organized the exact same way, that they get completely distracted from investing any portion of their just making any sort of personal investment into the art that makes it their own. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because even in like shows like American Idol, like some of the greatest performances at the very end, they will go, so and so, that is your song now, because you not only encapsulated what the message was, but you also twisted it just enough to where you didn't completely fuck it over, but you also you literally put your own handprint on it, and just everyone sees it. It almost outshines the original piece.
Yeah, it's so funny that you bring up American Idol, because I was just having this conversation a couple days ago, how I feel like there are a handful of songs. I'm thinking Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah. What is it? Was it Aretha Franklin, Chain of Fools? And then there's one other that I feel like those three, I wish I could remember what it was. The songs are covered so often in these singing shows, that it almost becomes the legacy of the song is
how many times it's been covered.
is how many times, like, you can't even, it's almost hard to track the origin of all of these covers when, 50 million kids on TikTok have done Hallelujah, vocal covers, and, and it's like, now I hear Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah, and I'm just like, oh, right, that's the song that I've heard on America's Got Talent, The Voice, American Idol 20 times.
That's that song from Shrek.
It is that song from Shrek.
But no, like, speaking of TikTok and songs being rewritten 1,000 times, begging, like, I'm begging, like, that one has been, like, that song came out in like the fucking 50s.
Did it really?
Dude, like, let me double, like, I pray to God this doesn't kick me off, but I remember it was a Google. All right, so we still here? I didn't hear, like, Google didn't tell me. All right, I'll cut this out. Let me double check. But no, it was written like six different times over. Like, let me double check real quick. I have my Jamie pull it up, which is pretty much just me. Original.
That's so interesting.
I think it's Beggin' by Mad. Yeah, no, but it's fucking the 1960s. Beggin' by Bob, some Italian fucker's name. Like, it's been rewritten like 6 different times over. And it makes no sense. And it's such a good song. Like, the newest rendition, with the I don't even know what you call it. It's not synth, but I guess it is to some extent. But it's so good. But it's still got that kind of like swingy kind of thing behind it. And I just love it so much. But no, rewritten 100 different times by 100 different people.
That's so wild. I remember one of my favorite Malcolm Gladwell pieces was actually very much about this topic. It was actually about Hallelujah, about how it had to go through a bunch of iterations before the Jeff Beck version that has this tragic backstory, and how there are painters that have basically he went to how there are 2 creative avenues to great works. Mm-hmm. You can lightning in a bottle, or you can have something age like fine wine. Yeah. And I have it really took me for a loop, because it was like a existential question that I had to start to ask myself. I'm like, oh no, am I let this song age as I'm like writing it, or do I need to like say whatever I wrote just now, that's what it is? Exactly. And it's really, I have no idea what the answer is. I tend to rather instead think of it as like painting versus sculpting. Are you inclined to add things, or are you intended, like, do you tend to kind of chip away things? Do you intend to, try to strip something away to get to the beauty of it, or add something as much as you can until it's something beautiful? And again, still both approaches had me like kind of existentially spinning out, like, oh no, what's my creative process? I don't know how my brain works, and it gets
no, absolutely. Because like, even with the whole painting aspect and the fine wine scenario that you brought up, Van Gogh couldn't buy a bottle of wine for, like, because I think that was the backstory to one of his things. No. It was the living room, the picture with the chair he gave to like a lady, and then she like gave it back because she's like, I don't like this. Like, no one liked Van Gogh's paintings, which say that today, and each one of them is worth like the GDP of a small country, is like insulting. Like, I remember there was a Doctor Who episode where there's like a monster and they go back in time. It's like, holy shit, it's Van Gogh. And he takes one of his paintings and like smears it out with white paint. And like, my heart I started having convulsions. I'm like, I'm going to have to call an ambulance, because in this timeline now, that painting doesn't exist, because he's like, oh, it's like, I've got a coffee stain. Like, one had a coffee ring on it and the other, I'm just like, could you fucking imagine a Van Gogh painting? Like, you would probably be hung in the town square, justifiably, by my opinion, if you destroyed a Van Gogh painting today.
Yeah. It immediately makes me think of how important the capturing of the process is, which I want to give you a lot of credit, is I think what you are doing by talking to so many creative people is you are bringing more eyes to the process of people's work. But like, yeah, I mean, I love the idea of getting into a time machine and going back and seeing Van Gogh and be like, yeah, I have this masterpiece that would be worth billions in 2021, but I messed up. It's just a canvas now. And there, the economy of attention and what becomes popular is so up right now. I don't dare for a moment try to decide to like dissect like, oh, how am I going to manipulate the algorithms to find popularity or make something that I create, hope for it to be timeless. But it's so interesting to think of the greats and to think, like, yeah, how many of them died not knowing their impact?
Oh my God. Just imagine
or there might be chaos.
Like I don't know if you're like into anime or anything, but there's this thing called Isakai, which is essentially a translation meaning to another world. So imagine like a Spirited Away. Like imagine just be spiriting away and you're so scared because you've watched time travel movies that you're like, if I fuck with the timeline even a little bit, my parents don't exist or some wild shit like that. Like maybe you step on a rat and then that rat was going to bite a guy and give him influenza and kill him. But then that dude was also engaged to your great-great-grandma. So now she's able to marry your great-great-grandfather. Now you live. You kill that rat, it doesn't happen. You don't exist. Whatever. So you just have to be as small and insignificant to history as humanly possible. And imagine just walking up to Van Gogh as just being like, I can't tell this man he's the greatest thing that's ever been. Like, imagine. Like, that must be painful. And then, like, see someone just, like, laugh at them as they're like, I would never pay for your paintings. I'm like, your grandchild, if he knew, would probably like take a piss on your grave. Just like, you dumbass. Like the only good thing, the only reason I'll forgive you is because I'm alive because of you. But other than that, you can go fuck yourself because he's one of my favorite artists. So just anyone openly disrespecting Van Gogh is like, and I don't have many of these, but a literal trigger because it's just like, no.
Yeah. It seems like, well, so for one thing, I should 100% just go like get my mom on the phone and just have you guys link up because like I was
yes.
my mom a properly really good painter and passionate about art and tried her best to instill that in me, and I can't draw to save my life, so that ship's kind of filled. But I would love to hear your guys' conversation. I guess it makes me think that, I mean, man, I don't want to get too kumbaya about it, but like,
dude, get kumbaya. That's all we got in this world, honestly.
Your response can either be, okay, well, that person creating something, like, let's just assume that they're ahead of their time. They are a master and we can't see it yet.
There are so many of those people.
Yeah. And also, what, like, do we think that Van Gogh's art would have been less impactful, less moving, less influential if he was trying to chase the current trends? And this is all
exactly
like how often are people entirely distracted by chasing success rather than chasing quality? I mean, simply quality. In my opinion, quality comes from moments of capturing authenticity, but that's almost more of a subjective thing. But like, yeah, I don't know. It makes me think.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah, no, that is interesting because like it's like there's like some people like especially now in the modern art age. Unfortunately, art is so easily acceptable or accessible to be used as a tax write-off that they will grab, like, let's just say you, for instance, let's just turn this over into a musical a musical hypothetical. Let's say that you're like real tight in with the music community. You do PR, you do merch, you do sales, and then one of the bands you ran for kind of gets big. Let's say now that your art is like, you can have influence on, hey, I like this guy, he does good things, let's run his stuff. So that's what they do in the art community. They will cherry pick a dude. He may not even be, he like maybe like an impressionist. Like I remember there's a whole bunch of people talking about at the LA Museum of Art, there's like this amber colored plexiglass box that's the art piece, and it's subjective, and you should like, what does it mean to you? And I'm like wanting to throw up in my mouth as they explain that concept to me. But they'll grab this nobody, he'll paint something for like $5 at a supermarket, like it gets on the clearance shelf at Target, and then they'll be like, this piece is sublime, it's worth $50 billion, and then someone will buy it for 50,000 maybe, just to like keep him alive or whatever. They'll have their friend value it at that 50 whatever million. Let's say 50 mil, because billion's insane. $50 million. And then they donate it to their friend's museum, and they get a tax write-off of $50 million.
Unbelievable. Yeah. It's so like, I mean, how did, yeah, the
Geniuses. Geniuses.
Yeah, exactly.
Chaotic evil, but geniuses.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, it makes me immediately think of fashion. I cannot believe how like you know, I don't know, a Prada shoe that is a sandal.
Yeah.
It's worth more when it serves the same, if not less of a purpose. And I'm not just like a purely utilitarian person, but you know, it has no value, no more value than, you know, my like Adidas slides, you know, that I wear to soccer practice. And yeah, just like how.
Oh, yes, it does. Yeah, I'm gonna cut you off right there. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because, and first of all, I'm just gonna go off with the bullshit thing because the market says so. But no, purses are valuable because those cocksuckers refuse to put fucking pockets in women's jeans, and they have to carry around. And I'm so mad because I'm so happy this got covered. This came up because I am right now wearing pants that don't have back pockets. And I am furious. They're fake pockets that are sewn together that lead to nothing. If I unsew it, it's just a hole in my pants. And they're slowly trying to make us wear fanny packs. And the thing is, I'll fucking do it. They want us to have these little, like the man purse gig didn't work, so they're going with fanny packs, and they're popularizing it here in the South by like the koozies where you can do like a 6-shot beer. And I'm like, just of course they are, because and then they do the same thing. They do a $700 Gucci fanny pack, which is objectively awesome. They're so cool looking, but I'm not paying $700. I'll pay $200, and that's it. I'll own that fanny pack, but nothing more.
Yeah.
So they almost make it necessary. And then once it's necessary, you get elitism. Because no one gave a shit about a car when they had a horse, but when horses became obsolete because you can't ride a horse on a stone road because it'll fuck up their joints and give them arthritis, everyone had to ride a car. But now they had like the Ford Model T or whatever. Now they've got a sedan or a pickup truck or a BMW. And now it matters, since now you've gotten rid of the competition, i.e. the pockets. Now you have to have a purse. And then that's just another item to commoditize or whatever the fuck the word is, and just become an elite over. It's like that new TikTok trend. It's like, my daddy drives a BMW, mine drives a Rolls Royce, and mine drives an F-150. It's just like, you have to like we elite everything. You have to keep up with the Jones. So make something obsolete and then elite
Yeah. I mean,
and then just make it as the most important thing possible. Just make it as elite as possible.
yeah. I mean, the pants pockets are creating a need and then selling a solution. And I think that I could argue that that any of those sort of like elite products are very much doing the same.
Yeah.
Societally, we've in this postmodernist era, we very much have created a need to reinforce our identity through the things that we purchase, and that's the need. And I mean, I don't know. I don't want to make value judgments on those that are. Maybe it's that if you have the means to say $700 worth of fanny pack is going to reinforce my identity to this degree, but there is the need to tell people something of your identity, and consumerism is a real convenient way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, the same thing, in all honesty, like, especially with shoes, because like I do a little bit of thrift shopping and I found a pair of 2007 305 Yeezys, and those fuckers are like $300. And like, dead ass, I could go back in time to the store and return these for like maybe the 200, 250 that they were worth, because I don't have the box. So, the collectors are like gay. But I could literally like go back. These things are so clean and so fresh. I could go back to the store and they'll be like, oh yeah, no, we'll take it back. Here's your money. Have a great day. Sorry we bothered you. But a lot of these like purses and watches, they're made on like a limited run and they're almost investments because they literally just grow in value.
It blows my mind how, I mean, it's diamonds all over again. It's
but diamonds are literally worthless though.
Yeah, exactly. It's
and it pisses me off so much.
Yeah, my fiance felt very strongly that I should not get her a diamond ring, and even then, there were some people that were like, "Oh, like
dude, the justifications that you're gonna have to throw out there. You're poor now. Like, it does not matter if this house that like this corner that you're sitting in. It does not matter if this is a 40 by 40 room with a 50-year-old bonsai and a giant propane fireplace in the background with like fucking French maids sweeping your carpet. If you do not get her a diamond ring and a thick diamond ring to boot, you're poor. And no amount of justification, unless you're dying on that hill, will like. And that's just the world we live in. Like, you cannot justify it. It's almost impossible. I haven't met someone who's able to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if someone figures out the magic combination of words, let me know. But I mean,
right. They're dead. The beers killed him. Like they're tapped into the phones and they're like, holy shit, that's a good argument. Go fuck this dude up.
That's got Yeah, I was gonna say, if I come up with the right combination of words, I'm not gonna say it around any of the recording.
That's so bad. Like, you'll have to be in the middle of the woods, up a tree with like white noise speakers playing. It's like, I got it. It's so perfect.
Yeah, but if someone takes down the diamond industry in the woods, is anyone there to hear it?
Right. I had a smart ass friend, and this is one of his hills he'll die on. He's like, no, it doesn't make a sound. And I'm like, what? Yes, it does. He's like, no, it doesn't. Sound is the vibrations of something making a noise hitting an eardrum. If there's no eardrum for it to hit, then that's not a sound. It's a vibration. I'm like, okay, fuck you, dude. We're not talking. Stop it. You can't. You got me. Good job, buddy.
I'm gonna say, I was really ready to disagree with him, but that's
a good one. That's a good one.
The vibrations, it doesn't make a sound. Okay, I can work with that.
I'm not smart enough to fight that shit.
Oh,
So, first of all, we need to go ahead and address the elephant in the room. For all those who do not know, smallest bears with the biggest paws that's the name of your band, group, solo, whatever you're doing. Where the hell did that come from? Because again, as a fan of big names here at Brock's Conversations for the End of the World, I gotta say, primo content. Where did that come from?
well, the story of the name is not that great there, but I'll give you a lot of I'll give you this the prequel as well. The smallest bear with the biggest paws is simply what I called my little dog when he was a little puppy. A
That's
little
hysterical.
pit bull lab, total mutt. He's an awesome dog, and yeah, you know, clumsy pup with big paws. Called him the bear, then the littlest bear, then the smallest bear with the biggest paws.
I love
It was
that's a great origin. Yeah, that's such a natural origin story. Do you know how long it took me to figure out this podcast name? That is an incredible. It was originally going to be Screaming into the Void, which aptly describes my conversational technique, but at the same time, a horrible name. But
yeah.
Smallest Bear with the Biggest Paws is incredible. That story makes it even better. Like dead ass, like your cover album needs to be an adorable puppy with like fucking 19 size Jordan paws. Like
been on like every show flyer.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you, I would say, can I entice you with the prequel because it involves
Run it.
Violence.
Run it. Do it.
We were originally called Wolf Antlers.
That's pretty metal. That would be pretty. What is that in Scandinavian? Because I feel that would be just slap so hard.
It's Varghorn.
Foghorn. That's pretty good. I would drink an IPA called Foghorn.
Exactly. Yeah, I
would drink that IPA. I'd invite them onto the podcast, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, I will tell you, I was doing some research, and there is a Hjort beer in Denmark. Mm-hmm. I haven't tried it. Really excited to order some. Yeah, when this project was originally, just an angsty teen, songwriting project, and I thought, oh yeah, I'm gonna be real punk, and I like wrote Varg on the headstock of my stickered out, blue Strat, and I thought I was super hardcore.
Oh yeah.
I first was like, I mean, I've never really known how to do the social media aspect of any of this, but I started hashtagging. When we'd play a show and have like a little clip, I'd start hashtagging Wolf Antlers and made the discovery that there was a tattoo artist here in Seattle that went by Wolf Antlers, and so he owned the hashtag. And I'm not gonna claim any fair play, but he was like, yo, F off. Like
he ceased and desisted your ass so fucking quick.
He yes, mostly he mostly did so in the form of like sticking his followers, which he had many more of, on our social media, and also he's saying like, yeah, go ahead and let me know when your next show is. I have like biker gang buddies.
Oh, dude, no, fuck that guy. That is a fucking threat. You can't.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is up there. Those are fucking. That's some fucking. You're gonna roll up and get found out. Like, dude, fuck that guy. Jesus Christ. Over a hashtag. You didn't call his. Did you like? You didn't call his mom a bitch or anything. You used a hashtag you didn't know was his. You thought you were being original. Jesus Christ. You're going to show up to my concert? Fuck you, dude. Jesus Christ.
I just want to be like, yeah, as long as you pay the cover, like I get paid, so that's fine.
Right. Oh my God. Could you imagine? Just like take out a massive insurance policy on that show. It's just like, my Strat. Oh no. Exactly. And you just walk home with like an obscenely large cartoon money bag across your shoulder.
Oh yeah, I should have just taken a couple a chain whips to the back and
Right, dude, for publicity. Like Logan Paul literally videotaped a dead guy in Japan. Like there's no
yeah,
such thing as bad publicity. Like the best thing that could ever happen to you would be getting punched in the face by a giant biker and someone uploading that video.
yeah.
Truthfully, truly. Like I
I,
mean,
the original goal was for
it would
this.
it would hurt, but that was the best thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I could take a hit. I think I could take one hit.
I could take a hit for fame.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's the old adage, would you let your brother punch you in the face for $5 million? It's like I'd let him punch me in the face for 50 and we split that bitch. But if you want to throw 5 mil at me, dude, I'll let him train for 6 months. Just nothing but one-armed curls and he can just run it.
Yeah. Yeah, I had to make the well, man, I don't know what led to the decision to like yield. I mean, maybe I was just telling myself.
How old were you? How old were you at the time?
Oh, I was probably, I'm going to say 18, 19.
That was it right there. Every 18-year-old's ready to run hands, but then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get this fucker. It's gonna be good. I'm gonna come to your show." Oh, so actually, I think that name's kind of gay, so you can have it, Tard. And I'm just gonna run with look, Bear's got some pretty cute paws over there. Let's do something with that.
Yeah, here we
That's
are 10 years later. And I'm like, the next album will have a diss track for this guy on it, and
dude,
it
should literally like somewhere, like maybe written around the edges or something, like somewhere it should be incorporated somehow. I'm 100% on board with this. It should be like Wolf Antlers is actually kind of a stupid name.
Yeah, exactly.
Something to that effect.
I remember like I got into Google Translate at some point and like started like figuring out like, are there anything cool things that I could like write in Swedish that are like just gnarly disses about this guy? Nothing cool came up, and I don't know how.
That's so unfortunate.
I know.
He deserves it. Dude, fuck that guy. Like if he hears this, fuck you. Come to Alabama. Find out. That is so sad. Like, what if he's like a 7-foot dude? And I'm like, I am so sorry, Mr. Antler, sir. But no, you are a small, insecure little man. If an 18-year-old just trying to make it in the music industry, if that's your trigger, you're either bored, shitty at your job, because if you got the time to message an 18-year-old and threaten followers, like, and again, how many followers can a tattoo artist really have? Like, really? Like, what, 5K? Yeah. Like, 5K, and you're kind of making it as a tattoo artist. Back then, you're what, 27 now? You were 18 then? So almost 11 years. I'm surprised you had followers as a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Like biker gangs, those do like biker gangs, really. That's what 45-year-old people did when their wives left them for a yoga instructor. Yeah. Those people don't have social media. They followed you because you gave them $10 off if you did it in front of you. That's what happened.
Oh my gosh.
Right now, he could be at like...
I'm not going to point to the piece, but I'll tell you, one of these, it was like, yeah, $25 off if you follow me right now.
Oh, fuck! Instantly, without hesitation. And I'll never like your shit. It will be like a fat-ass girl influencer. I'm starting my own beauty care health line. No one cares. This post should have an ass in it. That's what we're here for. That's what they're there for. They're there for the $25 you gave me. Nothing else.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna try to think of how to do that in this next album rollout. Like, all right.
I'm invested. I'm going to help. Like, you're going to get a message at 3:00 in the morning. I'm going to be high off my shit. And I'm like, dude, I got it. I've got this fucking wolf dude.
Oh man. Let's have him on the podcast.
Oh my God. Hey, excuse me, Mr. Antler, sir. Why are you so insecure? Who didn't hug you enough? Because that you should like he literally like I actually know some anime tattoo artists now. Literally in their bio says booked out till March 2023. Those people don't respond to messages. They're too busy injecting ink into someone. Yeah. Apparently, you're not on that level.
I was gonna say I don't want anyone working on my skin that's got time for.
Oh my God. They
Or
got time to not only notice someone as appropriating their hashtag, but be so offended and threatened by that action that they reach out and threaten their safety.
yeah,
That man will not touch me in
not
any way, shape, or form.
yeah.
Like, not only is he not getting pussy, he's not getting clients either. That's how sad that is.
It's not the best look for him, but you know what? I'll say upgrade because
oh my god, this is wet. This is 500% better than Wolf Antler.
So
it's so much better.
I'll take it. Yeah. The small downside is that there are a couple, like, I really like to archive. I've tried to archive everything that we've done musically. And the first show that we played under the Wolf Antlers name was opening for a band that some of your listeners may be familiar with called Car Seat Headrest. I don't know if you've heard of them, but
I'm sorry.
They were.
I'll listen to them, but yeah, no, I've not heard. Yeah. But continue, run it.
In the Northwest indie scene, but we were playing at their, like, they had just got signed to a major record label, and I think we drew probably about 40 people to come see us play. And then when Car Seat Headrest took the stage, they played to about 12 people. But then their record label, got them on Fallon like 2 months later.
Holy shit. Fallon.
Yeah. So there was like some significant value to that show poster where it's like, Wolf Antlers opening for Car Seat Headrest.
Oh my God. Imagine if this dude's got like 50,000 followers now because they thought like he opened for the band that went on Fallon.
Yeah. But man, label support. That was my lesson from that story. Holy smokes.
Jesus. Could you imagine? Dude, that is huge. Like, imagine that. Oh my God, that would be incredible. The band you open. And of course, that's just like, I knew a guy who's best friends who has like who's like the fastest. Like, that would be like the man who is friends with Usain Bolt's cousin. Like, it has nothing to do with you, but also opening for a band that went on Fallon and you had more people come up for you. That's pretty good. That says something.
It's such an Uncle Rico story is how I would
Exactly. Where are they now?
Gosh, I don't know, but I can tell you about 2 years ago, my fiance and I were working hospitality at the Firefly Festival in Delaware, and I was getting paid. I mean a chunk of change, but not a lot, to go literally set up their dressing room. And I was like, I'm actually just really stoked for you guys. This is super cool to see you guys like make it out of the scene and something to aspire to.
I mean, because honestly, that's all you can. I mean, it's not the 90s anymore. There's none of this like famine. What is it called again? It's like a delusion of famine. Like, it's not where everyone's like, if that guy gets a drink of water, it's literally a drink of water out of my mouth. It's like, no, just go fucking walk 5 feet that way. There is your own pond. Like,
absolutely.
It's like, there's literally not like famine mentality. There's literally nothing that you can do. Like, I'm even sure, like, what if they're like talking the night before? It's like, hey, we really like this Wolf Antler guy. The name's kind of dumb, but he's got the stuff. How about we make him permanent? But then they pull out and it's like, oh God, he's got like 38 people more than we do. Like, I don't think I like that now. Or 28. It's like, I don't like that. We feel insecure, and we're going on Fallon next month. So, we don't want that to get out. That's almost not just acceptable and expected, but almost doctrine. It's almost dogma to like, you bring on someone that sucks so you look good. But now it's just like the exact opposite. Like, I want you because you're so good and I believe in you in such a capacity that you need to be just as big as I am.
Yeah. It's it exposes a character flaw in my approach to yeah, just an approach to the kind of the indie music scene, because I feel so much like I can't go to many shows without thinking like, oh man, why am I not playing it? But it's so much better to I'm so aware that it's so much better to approach the scene as I don't know, just being it's so wholesome for everyone to be each other's cheerleader, you know, and to get out of my own head and just like think like, oh well, I've got this show next month, I need to find bands to play for. It doesn't serve anyone to be like, oh, I need to find some bad band so that I look better. I'm like, how cool is it if I get, you know, my buddy David who plays in Middle Names and they're incredible, and like my buddy who plays in Al Dente, oh man, they draw an awesome crowd. Like we're all better for it.
Exactly. Because then, yeah, go ahead.
You know, they're going to get my fans and they're going to get my fans and I'm not going to get their fans. And like,
no, that's because that's the exact opposite that's going to happen. You have, let's say you have 1,000 fans, they have 1,000 friends. At the end of the day, best case scenario, you both have 13,000 or 1,300 fans.
Yeah,
that is what the internet is. Now, back in the 90s, when there's like 3 spots on Fallon, sure, that's definitely what happened. You need to actually fight, because once it happens, you've got that slot reserved. But now you can come on the BCEW podcast or something. It's like there's like you can't. The buck does not stop at cable television anymore.
Yeah, I'm really really happy about that. I'm loving seeing, especially the kind of democratization of recorded music has been really exciting to watch. I think it's so cool to see that there's, you know, anyone can record in their bedroom. I mean, heck, Billie Eilish, like,
oh my god,
million Grammy recorded in their LA, you know, house, you know, like suburb bedroom, and anyone can do that, and that's a really beautiful thing. And it makes me think that there's more resources and more energy being directed towards the creative process rather than, you know, I mean, back in the 90s, I mean, as far as recording goes, heck, in the early 2000s, I played in like a band in high school where we were like, yeah, we're going to try to raise $800 among the 3 to go get a studio for a weekend. And like, and we would have not created the same product that we would create now by Cody literally going in, setting up a studio at my parents' house while they're on a vacation.
Exactly. Imagine, like, you would be so stressed over, not only am I possibly and realistically most likely wasting $800, because I mean, like, that's some movie making shit to work $800 to like release. Like, imagine if that was like Elvis, like, or like Johnny Cash. Like, let's say he like worked 3-4 months overtime, got $800, put out fucking Ring of Fire, and then just like, that's a movie. But
yeah,
that did not happen with y'all. So just imagine not only the stress of working that much, but then also like in the back of your head, it's like, hey, realistically, we're just going to have to just imagine that this money's on fire because it might not work out. Like, like you don't have enough mental like RAM to think about good music. You're going to be so nervous about fucking up that you're definitely going to fuck up.
Yeah. And I mean, there's some media in there where, you know, you have to invest personally.
Of course. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
I'm not a very anxious person, but
yeah,
certainly, you know, sparks anxiety for me is like anything financial, which is weird.
Oh,
it doesn't.
Oh my God. It's so bad because it's this magical slip of paper that like gets you anything in the world. But if you do not, like, if you went, like, that's like spending $20 at a casino. It's like, I'm out the second I don't want, like, I've gone I've gone meals, or not meals, but I've gone like snacks. Like I'm a little rumbly in the tummy there. I'm not breaking that 20 for a candy bar. I don't care how much my belly growls. That's not
Yeah,
happening, buddy. I'm sorry.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's so bizarre.
yeah. I think it's nice. It's it's a good thing to be aware of that. I can kind of take that anxious energy and realize, okay, well, if that's something that I feel strongly that I need to hold on to, I need to hold on to that $20. If I put that $20, maybe not towards recording, but towards buying, a Fender Duosonic, I'm gonna play the ever loving F out of that guitar because I literally put something of myself into it. And like there is definitely that there's some merit to that in
Oh, absolutely. But that's an actual investment. But like if you
yeah,
took that, wrote the song, and then sent it to a radio station and they sent it's like, hey guys, this ain't that good. Like that's $800. Like,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I mean, never, I would never, like I myself, thousands of dollars in debt over this entire studio that looks like garbage, but
it looks
drastically better than my phone. Sounds better, looks better, is better. But that's the investment. But if I was to just like, here's 800, or like let's say that's the same amount. Here's $3,500 for a 5 minute guest spot on H3H3, and then everybody's like, that Brock dude was dumb. I get like no followers, no nothing. It's like, oh great, cool. You look like an idiot on one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Good for you.
yeah. That's
That's depressing. That's almost worse
yeah.
than losing the $800.
I mean, yeah. It's so strange how I don't know, personal and social investment is that it's such a bigger risk than financial.
Yeah,
Uh,
it really is. It's almost ego too.
oh, absolutely.
It's definitely ego because you have to hype yourself up. For me, a 27-year-old as of today, whoop whoop. But for me, a 27-year-old in southeastern Alabama to have the audacity to think that anyone in the world gives a fuck about what he's saying to spend $5,000 on equipment to do so is almost laughable. Like I can in real time look at my analytics and see how much no one gives a fuck about me. But at the same time, I'm not only just doing that, I have a really good camera that, when I so choose, can take really good pictures. I have a very good computer that not only has a very good video editing software that I can learn to utilize and maybe do something for somebody else, I can also play some really sweet games on this thing. Not only is this mic catching my voice to throw it onto the internet, but if I wanted to like talk to someone, or maybe I want to do like a job, the camera, the computer, and the microphone also come into play. So that you do have to have those other justifications. You have to almost make excuses. That's not what these items are for. They can be used for that, but that's not what I bought them for.
Yeah.
So that is the only saving grace of this same thing. And 800, like now, if like there was a recording, like if there was like a band that was behind you, and then they're like, hey guys, we like the cut of your jib. You're not there yet. You could be. How would you like to go work on the road for us? That'd have been worth it right there. But
absolutely. I mean, it definitely gets me thinking about. I mean, sometimes you can simply just adjust your definition of success.
Exactly.
To I don't know, make your return on investment always worth it.
Make it up. Make up the return on investment. Exactly. Yeah. Justify it to yourself. That's all you got to do.
It makes me think. I mean, there's a specific instance that I'm thinking of, where I got back from working on a tour. I think for Katy Perry, and we got like a Christmas. Shit. I know. I've got a lot of weird stories.
That is wild. Holy shit, yeah. You just made the podcast. Hey, I know a guy who did a thing for Katy Perry. That's Uncle Rico right there.
If you want me to throw name drop more, I'll let loose.
Do it. I need clips. Run it.
I mean, I brought up Billie Eilish. I worked for Billie Eilish for all of like 3 days, so that was cool.
Hey, that's 3 more days than 90% of the population.
Oh my gosh, just that. I'm sure the algorithm is gonna like latch onto Billie Eilish was
Right.
mentioned.
Oh,
So,
dude, that's good. What are you talking about? That's a hashtag.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. Also hashtag Wolf Antlers. Don't forget that one.
Right. Holy shit. It's like, hey, that's that fucker from 10 years ago. What are you doing? He's still at 3,000 followers.
I got back from this. I was on break from this Katy Perry tour for New Year's Eve. My life was a little bit of a wreck. I was all over the place. My friend's throwing a house show at his house. It's going to be torn down in like a couple months so that they can put light rail right where it is.
Holy shit. That is so cool. Like,
yeah.
that almost gives you justification to destroy the house.
Oh, exactly.
That's a party. That's a party.
Yeah, we put, there are a bunch of like string lights. It's just your typical like New Year's Eve house show. And in all reality, I was probably playing in front of 20 people. Maybe there's one part in a song where I'm doing this like super fun breakdown. I like kind of like lift my guitar up over my head. It catches on the lights. I bring it down. All the lights come crashing down. Like
fuck yes.
Glass rains down on my best friend playing bass, and I somehow miraculously don't miss a note, and we finish the song. And I'm like,
and the crowd goes fucking wild.
Yeah. Yes. And I was like, okay, well, I bought those drums that he's playing. I bought that bass that he's playing. I bought the guitar. I bought the amp. Like I own this stuff, and I'm not making money on this. But my definition of success, this met and exceeded it. This is one of the best freaking moments of my life. This is so much.
Oh my god. See, that's it. That's it. That's worth the $800 easily.
Exactly.
Especially if that was caught on video. Like, if that happened, like, yeah, oh my god, could you imagine? That would be a rotating GIF in my cover photo for the rest of my life. That is like one of the moments from Inside Out. Like, that's it.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, how good is that movie?
Oh my god, is it Inside Out? Because me and Cody were literally having a panic attack over we could not remember the name of that movie.
Oh yeah, the one with all the emotions in the head. So good. Yeah,
like, that is a core moment. Like that. Like, I can see it. Like, that would be so fucking epic to like catch that shit and just like fucking rain glass over everybody and just be like, yes.
Yeah. And possibly back to what was like your first question, like what's the driving force behind, being, pursuing music, is that like, if you were to like, if your question were, what are like your 3 core memories? I would say, well, that New Year's Eve show.
Oh my god, definitely.
There was, just about a month ago, like first show where a very vaccinated crowd up in Bellingham. Like I got to crowd surf on a bunch of college kids in Bellingham.
Oh fuck yeah!
Unbelievable! It was so much fun, and even like not that they're all positive experiences. Also up in Bellingham, my guitar was just like totally glitching out one night, and I ended the set by just like chucking my guitar on the ground in frustration. But it's still like a core memory of like, I don't know, just authentic human expression experience, like that. They're not all positive. They're not all only fueled by joy, but it's I don't know.
It's really memorable. It's really good.
Yeah.
Like, good or bad, like memories get like the worst memory. Like, if I thought of the worst memory of my life, excluding like dying family members, I would have to say it would be I think I think this was like a school field trip. And again, this is kind of dark at the same time, but I was like really having a really good go with a bunch of friends, and I burned one of them, like a real good, I can't remember what it was, just a real good burn. And then all of a sudden, like he just like yanks my shit down, like yanks my pants down. Absolutely hysterical. Scarred. I was scarred, traumatized, and cried like a bitch, but hysterical.
Yeah.
in like normal circumstances, even like again, excluding the death of someone, if you like see someone shot in front of you, that's you're never gonna laugh at that unless you're a crazy person, unless that breaks you. But you're pretty much just going to be like the worst experience will be laughable in like a short amount of time.
Yeah. What is it? Comedy is just tragedy plus time. Like
Exactly. Like it was a South Park episode. It's like, guys, we got to wait like 10 years before 9/11's funny.
yeah, yeah. I I don't love too soon jokes, but I love saying too soon as the joke.
Oh, dude, too soon. Too soon is like, it's like, we know what you're doing there, but I'm going to give you some caveat. I'm going to be like, I'm going to give you some room to walk it back. It was funny. We know it was funny, but like even like Pete Davidson, like that, like I don't know if you know about his like dad. Like, do you know about him?
Oh, I mean, that is some unbelievable processing
Oh my god!
through.
What one of my favorite jokes that he has ever done. He's like, so whenever you don't want to come, like I know some people think about their grandma naked. Some people think about song like their favorite song. I just imagine what it must have been like that day when my father died in the towers and what the smell of his burning flesh was. I'm like, first of all, Jesus fucking Christ. Jew, bro, calm down. Are you okay? Do you need help? Is this your cry? Because fuck me, that's hysterical and also way out of line because
Yeah,
your dad literally died. Holy shit.
yeah. It's. I mean that definitely. It's so different. Have some ownership
Oh
over
my
the.
god.
I mean, I'll get really real on this podcast. Like, I mean, I'm 28 and I've been divorced before, and
Mm-hmm.
there are few things that get a better laugh than me bringing up like going to like I mean I've actually like going to like one of my best friend's wedding and just being like, guys, this was the best wedding I've ever been a part of. Like, no, like think about like consider this. And they're like, oh, we get it. I'm
I
like, yeah,
like
I
that.
don't know if someone else can. I mean, some of my friends can, but yeah, yeah, you gotta have some ownership over that. And
That is hysterical. But no, like their comedy is so weird. Like it's just so just there's no way. There's absolutely no way I could make that joke. That is like if you made that joke and didn't become famous, you're an asshole. Like you have
yeah,
to it's hard to justify that joke.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, those are some of the best ones.
Oh my
Uh,
god. Oh, like that could have like imagine the first time he told that and people would just like start crying. Like someone started bawling because their dad also died in 9/11. It's like the anniversary of his birthday or something. It's like imagine if that joke just never existed. Like he's like, I had to go through a lot of emotional processing. I had to come to terms. I had to talk to my mom because that's literally her husband that literally died in the greatest tragedy that's ever happened in our country's history. Damn near.
yeah,
Imagine if that joke didn't go off.
yeah,
Like that takes balls. That takes like
yeah,
self-awareness, like a healthy psyche because like I don't know if you've ever been on mushrooms, but if you told that joke, weren't really 100% behind that joke, your smoldering father would 100% fuck your mushroom trip all the way up.
yeah. I I mean I haven't been, but I can also I think I can imagine.
Mm,
Yeah.
dude.
Oof.
So back to you. What is
Yeah.
that? Right. But so you said you have a full album and an EP. What are the differences between those and what is there like a difference in like production? What does it take to make the two?
Ooh, now we're on
Let's
a
get
topic
into
that
let's get into some technical analysis.
yes. Well, let's see here. The first EP is just 3 songs. I mean, I suppose what's probably worth saying is that there are two driving forces behind wanting to ever record music in the first place. Because I'm like, I don't think of myself at all as a recording artist. I think of myself as a performing artist. But it's just very important that I am able to go to promoters and say, hey, this is what we sound like. Here you go. But I was also thinking of, like, I don't know, as you do when you're, in your early 20s, I was thinking about death a lot, like a wholesome kid does. And I was thinking, oh man, like, yeah, the generation after me, they'll know who I was. Maybe the generation after that. But the only way that, like, I really want to record something that is going to last on the internet forever, with air quotes around it.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
that
Oh,
was,
I understand that.
yeah,
I
so
really
it
do.
was sitting there, like, thinking about, like, all right, am I gonna be like cremated or buried? And I was like, oh right, I should text my buddy Josh and see if he can help me produce something. It was like
Right.
in the exact same, in one vein. Yeah, but I mean, I learned a lot through recording that first EP. That's where I learned really what the process of recording was like, because I'm not a technical person whatsoever. Only I'm only a musician, and like I'm blessed by having a lot of incredible audio engineer friends. But it was, a lot of just kind of travel journaling put to songs that I wrote on guitar, back in high school. I mean, prior to recording that album, here's some more name dropping coming in. I was on tour with Metallica, and I was, yeah, I know. and and like,
My life is nothing. You've lived so much. Fuck.
it was, yeah. It's weird that I've experienced the things I've experienced. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, look. Do you have selfies with them? Because, like,
I don't.
oh,
That's,
see, that's okay. So I feel better now.
I know Pixar didn't happen, but like, it's one of the
Right.
jobs I don't ever get too starstruck. But I was in an elevator in Edmonton, Alberta, with Kirk Hammett. That was like my only interaction with them, because that was a huge tour. But yeah, I had, like, I don't know. It was when all my friends started becoming more mobile and like moving away to college and coming
Uh-huh.
back. And the first EP is called "It's Good to Be Home Now," and it was literally just,
That's a good title. That's
yeah.
really good. I
And,
like that.
and it was literally just, I mean, one of my best friends is an incredible drummer, and we would set up drums in my parents' living room and set up my guitar setup. And he came back from, for like a Thanksgiving break, and I happened to be home, and we're like just playing through this riff, and he's drumming and he's shouting, "It's good to be home now." And I'm like, that's
That
it. That's the song.
slaps. That
Yeah.
slaps.
And yeah, and just so much, like, going away and getting lost and coming back and finding yourself again, but all in very abstract terms. That's kind of the first EP, but I don't know, I learned how to infuse a little bit of emotion into the things that I wrote. But yeah, I kind of had the idea of making this sort of I mean, I've already put an expiration date on The Smallest Bear with the Biggest Paws. It's going to be this EP, this album that's going to come out sometime this fall, and then I'm going to record 10 more songs, and then that's it. And the second album is called "It's Good to Be Loved Now," and the third album is going to be "It's Good to Be Whole Now." And I
See,
don't know.
that's some Hallmark. That's some Home is where the heart is Hallmark shit. That's like eight
It,
movies. Home is where the like blank is where the heart is. Like
yeah,
that's some good shit. I like that. I like the continuity there.
thanks.
That's good shit. That's quality content. Like continuous quality content out of you. Truly.
Thank I. It forces me to. I tend to be a little more emotionally reserved, and it forces me to be like, all right, it's good to be loved now. What does that mean? And
Right. What
I,
does that mean? Holy
I have,
shit.
I've hardly written a line of lyrics for the next album, "It's Good to Be Whole Now," because I don't even know what that concept means yet. but hopefully I'll be
honestly, and I'm not asking for credits, but I also wouldn't fight them. The whole it's good to be loved now, that could kind of be questioning your life after the divorce, because now you're asking yourself the question, what does it mean to be loved now? Because I thought I had it, but that shit's gone now. And it's good to be whole with your current fiance.
Oh, dang.
Woo! You can thank me when you're on Jimmy Fallon, my friend.
Oh my gosh.
There's that outside perspective they're always talking about.
That is, I'm speechless. That's
only on the BCEW podcast, people.
That's incredible. I love it. Oh, because that is, I mean, it's telling that the first album had no love songs on it, and this second one.
And you got to make it a trilogy, because this is like the Spider-Man Far From Home, Homecoming. Like, you got to, like, it's got to be a trilogy. Like, there's never been a good, like, there's not even a word for it. Quadrilogy. Like, there's no, like, what the fuck is that? It's a trilogy.
Yeah. And
it's gonna be a trilogy. And it fits, because now you have your little forever home wife person. Like, it fits. You're from the beginning to the end. You thought you were at the end, but it was the beginning of the end to the end.
Yeah.
So yeah, it fits.
The last one is going to have way too many villains. Like, seriously. What was it? Venom, the Sandman. Who else?
Venom, Sandman. Wait, are we talking about we're talking about Tom Holland or Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire?
I think Tobey Maguire, the Sam Raimi ones.
Okay, so Green Goblin, Sandman, Venom.
Oh, right. That's it.
Who?
Forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so you got your big bads. I mean, dude, honestly, like, I was kind of going in it. Maybe you were thinking that, but like, was that a flow right there? Because that's not only was that really good, but it also kind of hit harder when you kind of yourself realized it.
Yeah.
Because, like, really good. Man, I love that shit. Woo!
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's my mind's melting in the best way possible.
Oh yeah, dude, I love it, dude. I kind of feel bad keeping you on. We're gonna keep going because that's good shit. But like, it feels like you, like, honestly, like, the way the reaction's going, it feels like you need to kind of just drop the call and just, like, run to it, because I can kind of see the machine working. Like, your hands are fucking twitching and your eyes are darting. Like, there's the guitar, there's the writing board, it's right fucking there. Lose this guy and let's run to it.
You know, I appreciate you, like, offering the freedom. I'm actually, very strangely, I'm at my sister's graduation party. Like,
oh shit. Dude, I'm taking.
No. It's totally fine. She's a great supporter of the band. So she was like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna, like, film the podcast here?" I'm like, "This is gonna be Graceland now."
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's gonna be Graceland. Like, this corner is like the house is gonna sell for $50K because this corner is worth like half of it, like $50K over asking, because that corner is like half the asking price. It's like, this is where Littlest Bear with the biggest paws recorded his first episode on the BCEW podcast. And this was the revelation of the fucking of the trilogy record that we all know and love. Like, I mean,
this is the spot.
That's the chair right there. This little fucker from IKEA. That's the chair. That chair's going to sell as an NFT for like $50,000.
I love wildly overestimating my, like, posthumous worth of anything.
We are content creators. As abhorrent as it sounds for me to say these words, like, we have to, like, honestly, we have to fake it till we make it, because we will fucking make it. And if we don't, it was all for nothing. So we have to make it.
Yeah.
But dude, so honestly, like, it is so fucking crazy. Like, isn't it always just wild how shit like that? Because, like, never, like, I'm not like a very creative person. That was probably the most creative thought I've had in the past couple of weeks. You're welcome, by the way. But, like,
blessing.
That always is how it happens. Like that, they always talk about that outside perspective, whether it's on like a cop show. It's like, oh, well, if we just have a fresh set of eyes, look this over. It's like instantaneously. Something that I thought was so obvious that like literally like it fits together so perfectly. I'm like, I'm just going to tell this dude something he's going to already know. How much does that happen in music?
Oh my gosh, all the time. Like I
and again and I'm so sorry, but this is just another reiteration of the Cody conversation we had earlier about what the flow state is.
Yeah,
I've not felt this good in a minute, and it's going to go away instantly, but you're going to take this feeling and develop it into a trilogy album that will rock for the only reason that I'd like this will be like 5% my brainchild.
I'm gonna at least bump that like to the 8 to 10% range for sure.
Exactly, like 10% my brainchild.
You're getting on the album credits for sure.
Don't worry. Hey, there it is. You do not have to, dude. No, don't lower yourself to my no.
I feel very strongly that like my album credits. I mean, I spend time on them because like everything has kind of been done between Cody and I. Like, I mean, Cody drummed on everything for the last album because he's an incredible drummer. There are also like specific guitar parts where he plays like a 5-second thing in the middle of like me playing like a 4-minute song, and it's interesting. I didn't know we were allowed to do that. But additionally, like, I mean, the words "It's good to be home now." I'm like, I have to give credit to Drew for that. I didn't write that. You know, my buddy Dylan on a hike once said, "Man, like this is just the art of getting back to where we started." And I'm like, cool, lyric and also album credit. Like,
exactly. Right.
And
that's wild.
You know, I've played, I don't know, 30 to 40 shows with a rotating cast of like 7 different bassists and like 5 different drummers. Like, it's such a it takes a village sort of situation here that, you know, I gotta make sure credit is given where it's due, and it's due basically to all of my friends and family. Like,
it's not, dude. It's really not. That was under the rock. That was actually just a pebble in your shoe. You were going to step on that fucker and find it sooner or later. All I did was just like, hey, dude, you're limping there for a second. And you're just like, oh my God, and there it is. The meaning of my entire EP album. Like, I mean, dude, it's nothing. Like, it's absolutely nothing. Like, you're literally looking for a rock and it was in your shoe the whole time. I just noticed you were limping. That's all that was. I did nothing.
You're being too modest, but
dude, I am. No. What is it? What's the? Oh my God, I'm gonna kill. No, I am imposter syndrome. I am brought into mortal flesh. The concept of imposter syndrome. You have Don't give me a thing.
I a little bit. I think that's a little bit in the content creator DNA.
Oh my God.
It's like, and if someone figures out a way to escape it, you know, short of counts,
it's impossible. I listened to a Joe Rogan podcast. Johnny Depp's like, dude, I'm such a fraud. I'm like, no, you're fucking Iron Man. Don't say that. I don't say that. I haven't hit 100 subscribers yet. You can't do that, man. Jesus Christ. You cannot say that, dude. You're literally Iron Man. Like, I am Iron Man when the Infinity Gauntlet snap will be on the posters of 10-year-old children for the rest of entirety. You cannot have imposter syndrome, my guy. Don't do that to us.
It's so wild. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah. I have a tough time. Man, what are the origins of that? Because I always thought that it was you know, like up here in the dreary Northwest, we just have this kind of like keep your head down, don't think too much of yourself persona, because everyone here is just a little bit Kurt Cobain, and like, but it's clearly not a regional thing. It's clearly,
It's a human thing.
yeah, that's so strange. I mean, I suppose I wonder if it has any evolutionary, like, adaptive usage.
It's got to be. I mean, because if you get too big for your pants, then like even chimpanzees, there's not an alpha chimp. There's a council of people who owe each other favors and have each other's back. So if you don't have, so imagine if you have like that alpha chimp that's just like, I'm the shit. He's going to, if he does not have an inferiority complex, he's like, at any minute, these 5 guys could jump me and I don't really feel comfortable about beating them. So if he like keeps that in the back of his mind with that complex, then he's good because he's not going to get too big for his britches.
Yeah.
That's like Icarus. That's Icarus flying too close to the sun. If he didn't think he was hot shit, he'd still be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's it.
That's got to be. I mean, because honestly, that's like the same thing with my friend. Like he objectively, like he is like well off, like money. Has no interest in a girlfriend, wife. Like he has like sexual drives and urges because he is human, but he's like, I could go my whole life without being like married or have a kid. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm like, well, yeah, no, that's great. And he's like, and there's got to be more people like that. I'm like, yeah, but do you know why that doesn't matter? Because the gene that makes you think that way is going to die off with you. So,
dang, yeah,
that's so. So it's just going to be a random mutation in a healthy, because they're healthy, but by the standards of replacing yourself with a child, you're not healthy. So that's just going to be a unhealthy child born by normal healthy parents, and then that gene's going to end until that random mutation happens. So so just because every person has it, that has to be something, that has to be a genetic experience. That has to be something that's like a genetic psychological factor. Like that doesn't just happen every so often. The mutation is the person who is Icarus. Icarus had that thing. He's like, oh, I'm the shit. I'm flying. Look at me go. Now I'm dead. Because that's going to happen. So it's completely beneficial to have that. But it's also like, it stops so many people from, there's like 100 YouTube channels that have like 50 subscribers. Like I'm at the precipice of just like, if I can't grow any faster than this, I'm just going to give up. I'm not, but if I didn't think about it, if I wasn't aware of because like once you're aware of something, it changes the outcome. So if I wasn't aware of this, I'd be like, man, 50, I don't even have 50 followers. It's like, I'm just going to give up. But if I don't give up, then I'll get bigger. But I also need to have that. So I'm not like James Charles Snapchatting 17-year-olds trying to like, wait till you're 18. Like you got to have that thing on you somewhere.
Yeah. It's simultaneously weird how, it's not something that we're going to nature out of ourselves. It has to be nurtured out. But also, societally, it's something we punish a lot of the time.
Oh yeah.
But who it makes me think of? It makes me question the response to 2 people in particular. I think Donald Trump and Kanye West.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah. But hell, even Kanye's kind of getting... No, but the thing is, the irony, they're both getting their comeuppance right now.
Exactly.
Donald lost the election. Kanye lost Kim.
Yeah.
They're both getting theirs right now.
Yeah. And you wonder if that is like, moral law being implemented, or if it's...
Like, that's like something written into the fabric of reality.
Yeah. Yeah,
because like,
and so like imposter syndrome.
Kanye West. That's Kanye fucking West. There has never, ever been someone more instrumental to music. Like you could even argue like Bach and Beethoven. Like that Kanye fucking West, dude. Like music history classes will have chapters dedicated to Yeezy,
Yeah.
like to different evolutions of Kanye. That's like Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, and then the symbol. Like they will have their own chapters in music history.
Oh yeah, it'll be a 200 level survey class at some point.
Oh my god. Like people will write their doctoral thesis on the life of Kanye West, which again fans the galactic size ego that he not only justifiably has if you look at it close enough, but it's like you also need to get the fuck down from there, buddy. Calm down.
Yeah, super interesting. Oh man. Yeah. I love that we are naturally gravitating in all of these different tangents towards the relational aspect of these things. Because I mean, when I think imposter syndrome, I also think of those in my life that try to kind of massage that out of me, like don't think that. And I mean, my fiance absolutely comes to mind. She's like my biggest cheerleader and can't be more stoked about that. But let's since we're talking about music a lot, I mean, Cody is also exactly that. Where like,
yeah,
dude it would be a waste of his time if,
oh my god,
if he thought that if he thought of this music project the way that I intuitively think of this music project. Like
where you find yourself thinking about the worst of times.
Sorry, what was that?
So it would be. So I think I think I hear what you're saying, and again, I don't like putting words in people's mouths, but I feel this translated a lot better into your favor. He is where your project is. He sees your project where it is, but on the where you're complex and everyone's complex, because it's the exact same thing for me. This is the exact same thing my wife does for me. Because the only reason I started this podcast was because everything I came up to her, it's like, hey, I want to do this. It's just like, and I would get so mad at her and just be like, fuck you. You don't know what you're talking about. But I was like, hey, babe, what about a podcast? She's like, and I was like, hey, that's shit. I got the seal of approval. There it is. So, but I also find myself in my lowest point, not in like a depressionary point, like my video has 0 views or whatever, but in the average low, that's where you normally see your project. But that person, your Cody for you, your fiance for you, my wife for me, they see it at its potential outside of the influence of the inferiority complex.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a great way to see it. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had to deal with that so much. It is so just, and every time, like, and the second I turn off on this recording and we do our little 5-10 minute post podcast hurrah, more than likely you're going to say what every other guest has said. I have never had so much fun in my life because this is just so, and I'm tired because I just get so into it. It's so much fun. It's so exciting to talk to someone about something they're passionate about and like match their level of like enthusiasm. It's almost sad that not that, and this is like we have like 100 million podcasts in the world, and I'm like whatever like place I'm in the podcast world. Everyone should have their own podcast because it is just so incredible. The experience is just so good.
Yeah, it's it's strange how we've become so productive that I think podcasts serve an ends for the means of having conversations with people.
Exactly.
Like, which is possibly a cynical view, but man, how good is it to just get to talk with somebody?
Oh
and
my God, it's so good. It is.
Yeah.
And it's not like we're next door neighbors and we can just go to a bar, because if we could, like if I could have all my favorite, like, let's see, there's you, obviously you, because we're flowing so hard right now. And there are these podcasts, like there's these people I have on now, and it just may be the first time that's a little awkward. But then there's like you, Cody, Jeffrey from CBD department, um, High Top Hickory. He was incredible. There are just so many people. It's like if we can just all move into the same town and go and get beers every Friday night, that's it. But we can't. So these podcasts, Bubs Online, that's another dude. He's a teacher from Atlanta. We get into some, because he's really heavy into philosophy. We get into the bushes. It's just so fucking good. But
oh my God.
Because this literally podcasts are literally replacing weekend Friday night beer nights.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'd be curious what demographics they're most popular with. And I think that the more,
millennials.
I mean, what was that?
Millennials, Gen Zs.
Yeah. And I would say there's got to be some correlation between how isolated people become and how much they gravitate towards podcasts. I will say I've done a lot of jobs where I am working by myself 12 hours a day. And I'm like, well, looks like Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend is going to be my like stimulated social conversation this week. And like, but you got to take that and acknowledge, that illuminates a need.
Exactly. Because like there's like a old GIF that I really like that really defines podcasting at its very core. It's a cutout of three girls laughing and having what is portrayed to be a good time. And then there's another kid that kind of like moves himself into frame laughing with them. That's a podcast. Right now, there is a lonely child, 15, 16, 17. In the future, 5 years, I've hit 100K, you're touring, whatever happens. They're going to listen to this podcast either as a fan of you or a fan of me, and they're going to enjoy this conversation as much as we are. They're going to know themselves. We have literally just discussed and discovered the entire premise of your trilogy album, and they were here to live it. Yeah. It's documented forever. It's not going anywhere. It's not some weird story you like crying. It's like, I just want to thank Brock at the Grammy. It's like, I just want to thank Brock because he's really no, it's right here forever. It's never going away. And they get to live that for the rest of their lives on repeat. I forgot what I've said because we're so deep into it. I can go back and just remember and be like, holy shit, that was a good idea. Jesus.
Yeah. There's something really beautiful about the temporality of it. The actual instance in time being captured rather than just the memorial of it.
Exactly.
And not to discredit Memorial, like Memorial is, it's so important that we tell stories. And like I love oral histories and, knowing how stories evolve and mutate to fit their context and to fit their, honestly, like societal rhetorical purposes. But that's a whole different tangent because I'm a communication studies major and
exactly. Oh yeah, dude. So you could literally write a dissertation on this. Like
I could literally probably get a C- on a dissertation about it.
Dude, C-. I love it. But like, because that's another thing. Like, and again, let's go back to the 16-year-old kid that's listening right now. It's like, holy shit, they're talking about me. I'm that kid. We're being pretty intimate here. Yeah. We know nothing of this child, but let's say we have 5 or 6 episodes together, which this bitch is going to keep coming. I don't see why not. Honestly, like I get a studio, I can fly people out here. Best believe. So we're just going to keep getting deeper into the bushes because we're going to become more acquainted and sociable with each other. We're going to start talking about our past, our childhoods. This person listening right now, they're going to know us intimately. Like I know, like there was I said this a couple episodes back. It was a Bert Kreischer bit, and like a lot of his stuff, like is like a lot of family comedy. It's stuff with their family. But they were talking about like how his daughter Isla was playing imaginary baseball, and like the coach hit a fake pop fly, and then she like pulled back and then missed it. Like literally pretended like she didn't like catch it. It's like I'm the greatest. She missed it for whatever reason because she's a goof, or she's like, well, I'd never actually catch a ball in real life because I haven't yet. So we're just going to go with what reality says. And him and his wife are just bust out laughing. It's like, please don't make fun of her. Like, you don't do this to her. Don't fuck her up like just like you. That is an intimate moment. Like, no one would ever know. But I know, and now you know. And we know Bert Kreischer on like this special level. But the second I come up and is like, hey man, has Isla tried catching a pop fly? Has she caught the pop fly? He's gonna look, he's like, who the fuck are you? And how do you know my daughter's name? Security, come here. Like,
yeah,
this kid is going to just like, he knows us. He's here in this conversation right now. But the second he walks up to you, it's just like, hey man, where is that chair still at the corner of your sister's house? It's like, oh my God, how does they know about my sister's house? Security, this fucker knows about where my sister lives. Yo, hold up. Fuck this guy. But he listened to that episode a couple days ago in preparation to a concert or whatever. Like, it's so weird. Just like,
it's a beautiful thing to
it's beautiful. But then also my Atlanta friend had like a dude stop him at a Walmart or a Whole Foods. Like, oh my God, you're that guy. Let's take a selfie. The second that happens to me, I'm shutting this fucker down, deleting the channel immediately. Fuck that. No.
Yeah.
No.
Be a personal taste because I've been famous adjacent enough, like been around, like Katy Perry, just whatever. And I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie, like fame would kind of be sort of cool. But
until they approach. Now, if they paid for my appearance, absolutely. But the second you stop me in Walmart, this is supposed to be kind of a joke. I'm okay with this being a joke. I don't want you stopping me at Walmart during in the middle of my day. I want to like be there where I've had to announce it and you pay to come see me. Yeah. Or it's free to come see me. You get a t-shirt or something. I don't want you to be like, that's Brock from the BCEW, Mr. Teal. How are you? It's like, no, bitch, stay the fuck off. Like there's like a continued growing issue where children, literal children, again, this child listening, takes his mom and walks up to these YouTubers' houses, knocks on their doors. My son would love to have a picture with you.
Yeah.
Get the fuck off my front porch, you twerp. No. Fuck. Come see me at fucking VidCon or something, dude. Get off my porch.
Yeah. Wild. I mean,
no.
It just speaks to brain development. I mean, you'd hope, but I don't know if that...
No, absolutely not. Because you're a star. You're bigger than life. Like there was like that kid, not Millie Bobby Brown, but the main protagonist of Stranger Things. There's like, he's walking and like this dude, like I remember this video explicitly. This dude's calling out, let's say his name's like Dan or something. Dan, I want a picture. And he's like covers his face. It's like, hey, we fucking made you look at me. I'm like, first of all, you're a 28-year-old man. This is a literal child. You have done nothing for him. Yeah. You've subscribed to a streaming service that just so happened to produce his show. He owes you nothing.
It's the thought that celebrities owe you, especially extended access, is terrifying. Like, yeah, and
it wasn't.
I just think,
go ahead.
I just think like it's such a weird parasocial relationship to, especially like these young fans. So I did those 3 shows of, those like 3 days of working for Billie Eilish, and like her fans a lot of them, the younger ones, don't know that Billie Eilish isn't their best friend, that it's not mutual.
Oh my God, yes. Jesus Christ.
Literally, and you know, there's got to be some merit to some degree of, you know, like, you know, if a figurehead of some sort, if a celebrity talks about like their, say, mental health struggles, then
Exactly.
that relationship can have some merit where you're like, oh, if they struggle with it, then it's okay for me to struggle with it. But
Exactly. That's it. But the second you try fucking touching me, no.
yeah,
Like, I think outside of like J-pop and K-pop groups, I think like, because again, this is from an anime. It was like a Gretzko, but she was in a like an idol group where they're like, if you buy our album, there's a ticket, and if you take this ticket to this show, you get a 5-second handshake with the star of your choice. That's it.
yeah,
Don't, like, I personally, because I feel like I've got to, like, unless you're like a 6'5" mountain dude, like, I'll feel comfortable being able to swing at you if you get in my shit too close and I'm not real comfortable. But this reminds me of a time where someone was riding my friend's ass on his car, and he like slant, like brake checks like 3 or 4 times. This person like swerves, and then he pulls over just to let this person get out the way in the middle of fucking nowhere, 10 o'clock at night, no street lights, bullshit, nothing. It's dark as a room with the lights turned off. And then this motherfucker gets out and like, we're going to beat this guy's ass. He's like, oh, I got my gun, boy. Let's run. Because like this dude could be running at us for all we know. Like 3 dudes could get out the car. 6'8", blonde girl just gets out the car. I'm so sorry. My headlights aren't good. I can't see. I'm like, Justin, get the fucking car right now. This is a female. Like, imagine how scared she must be. Like, same thing for her. There could be 3 or 4 dudes get out the car. Hey, girl, you look kind of cute. What you riding my ass for? You like it or something? Like, anything could happen.
yeah.
Just us, kind of fine. I'll be weirded out, but I'll be okay. But Billie Eilish is fucking 17 and some 30-year-old dude, like maybe he has a tattoo on his shoulder and she's like, that's a red flag. Miss Eilish, I'd love to shake your hand or give you a hug for an Instagram post. It's like, how about no, you smell? Yeah. And then he's all butt hurt and tries ganking her with a shiv the next time he sees her because he broke his little feelings.
Yeah.
No, Jesus Christ, no. I couldn't imagine.
It's, yeah. There, it would be so terrifying to be
oh my God, I'm scared thinking about it. Like putting myself in that place, I would be horrified.
Yeah. I mean, John Lennon was enough. I'm just like, all right.
Mm-hmm. We're good. Wait, hold the fuck up. You took a picture with John Lennon?
No, but he got, you know, he got shot by a fan.
Oh, and yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was about to say, I was like, wait, time out. John Lennon's like really old. Like, how the fuck did you pull that off? Were you like 5? But no, but yeah, exactly. Yep. There goes my camera. I knew that was going to happen. But yeah, no, it's all good, man. It's all good. We're still recording, but we'll wrap it up. But let's go off this in another question. But absolutely shot by a fan. That no, I'm not going out like that. That's just not happening. So
a small part of me would be a little bit flattered to have that passionate of a fan.
It'd have to be a graze. If it killed me, man, that consideration would fly out the window. But if he like tapped my shoulder or something, it's like this will make him even more famous, and in some weird way, maybe he'll thank me. I could justify that, maybe, probably not.
I'm worried that we're giving Wolf Antlers some ideas.
Dude, we are. He's like, I'm gonna have one of my guys shank me with my own tattoo gun.
There you go. Hey, free tattoo.
Free tattoo. Right. You don't get those too often. But all right. So look, you're gonna release your stuff at the end of this year, probably.
Yeah.
This is definitely happening again. All I have to say, as a cover artist, is something you've done. Why are you not on TikTok doing covers? Because do it.
It is it's entirely because I am the most social media inept person I know. What I need to do is I need to get my fiance, who I mean, here's a brag. She's going out and tour managing in September because she's a badass like that. But I need a media manager is what I really need.
Dude, I'll talk to you after the podcast. It's really not that hard. Like, it'll definitely help to have someone who knows like the inner ins and outs, but the ins and outs are like, they literally make channels. Here's how to grow your TikToks. Here's what to do. And that shit fucking works.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, 100%.
Of rolling out the first single for the album, I've been like, wow. I mean, I knew Facebook was sort of dead, but like Instagram isn't really where it is. Like, it's easy to use. I'm familiar with it, but the ice is starting to crack a little bit. I do need to get on TikTok and
do it. Dude, all my guests, Cody, TikTok.
Yep.
90% of my guests were from TikTok. 3:00 in the morning, I find a person, boom.
That's killer. Yeah. I think just for the personal touch, I'll have Cody coach me on it.
Absolutely. Ooh, I don't know. Like I said, his stuff deserved to go viral. It did not go viral for a reason, unfortunately. And again, I was on there for podcast guests. I also did not think of the concept of, hey, make a BCEW TikTok and then put the clips on there, because my friend did that. And this is where I decided to do it. My friend, Christian Reeves, shout out to him. He did that. He's at like 12K.
Not bad.
It's not bad at all. And it was just originally a couple of podcast clips, and then he started doing little mini sketches, and now he does live stuff. And he's just chilling, like 12K followers. All right. And so let's say you get 12K followers just for like retrospect. What happens when you make a really good video and at the very end of it's like, hey guys, I have an Instagram. Follow that. What happens? Like half of those. It's fucking 6,000 people.
That's a game changer, is what that is.
Game changer. Even if it's 10%.
See, that's
1,200 people.
Yeah.
That's literally 60 times 6,600, whatever the fuck. It is more than 100% of what you got right now. It's probably close to 10,000%.
Yeah.
Like it's some stupid number.
That's the flip side to the investment conversation.
Exactly.
When the investment is the difficult thing, but the return on investment, it turns into an investment itself. I tripped over my words there.
Yeah, you're good. The intention came through. That's all that matters.
Okay. Good. Yeah. You're what I'm laying down.
Oh yeah. Dude, awesome. We're on the same wavelength, 100%. So, speaking of socials, where do people find you?
So, currently, I do most of my promoting on Instagram at smallestbear.biggestpaws. Also, facebook.com/the smallest bear with the biggest paws. Oh boy, I'm gonna need to figure out what Instagram.
Surely they don't have that. I'm actually about to look up that TikTok right now, because if they have, because my thing is Trolling Badger, but someone stole Trolling Badger with his O, so I had to do zero friends, 0 followers, and I messaged that I'm so mad. I'm like, dude, give me my fucking thing back. And he's gonna wait till I have 1 million followers and I make a TikTok about it. It's like 20K and I'll sell it to you.
Yeah. He's just waiting for you to do the work, and then he'll charge you for it. Oh, brutal. Yeah. I would say, well, I mean, additionally to it just being a cute, quaint story about a nickname I gave my dog. The smallest bear with the biggest paws was a very intentional. This is definitely not someone else's band name. Like, exactly. I was like, no way I'm stepping on anyone's toes with this. So yeah, I think I bet I'll find a at least close TikTok.
Yep, there we go. Closest we got is smallest small, biggest big. You are golden like an Easter egg.
Yeah, I'm getting it. tonight.
Do it tonight. We're
Don't
doing
worry.
it tonight. I'll follow you, man. I'll be your first follower, and then Cody will slide right back in behind me.
I'm gonna sit right here in this chair while I set it up so that.
Dude, you're just increasing the return investment on that chair. That motherfucker's gonna be worth money.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
dude, ironically, I have a friend who has a pawn shop, so we can just broker it off to him and he can sell it at an auction.
There you go.
Pawn man's gonna jump in and flip that shit so goddamn fast. It's shit. Whoo! He's gonna turn that 100K to 150K. There we go. All right, everybody. Smallest bear, biggest paws. Follow him Facebook, Instagram, and now TikTok. I am Brock with Brock's Conversations for the End of the World. Y'all have a great one. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.